Hello, everyone. Due to popular demand from a handful of folks that I know personally, I will be conducting my very first and maybe, I don't know yet, my only podcast. Uh, I apologize, well, really for everything because this is already a shit show. I am recording this via my disgusting, smelly basement. It is phenomenal. It smells musty down here. It isn't very good. Um, the microphone, I don't know if you've noticed, is abysmal. It's the audio quality is probably terrible at this point. I own one pair of headphones that have a microphone on them, and even then the audio quality is extraordinarily poor. But my mother decided that she would borrow and then proceed to immediately lose the one pair of headphones that I own with a microphone on them that I purchased with my own money. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go to CVS. Even though it's late out and I am very tired, I'll go to CVS and try to buy, a new pair of headphones with a microphone. So I went to the 24-hour CVS that I know. I know exactly where the where the headphones are. They're right next to the adult diapers. But the 24-hour CVS was closed for reasons that are simply beyond me. So I am recording this to you via my Oculus Rift VR headset. Um, that isn't a flex. The thing barely works as well as my computer. So I just have to say thank you, Mother. Thank you, Mother, for your exceedingly gracious contribution to the podcast thus far. It has been duly noted. Other people might call it obnoxious or annoying or anything else, but no, I am extraordinarily happy for this opportunity that you have provided me. And onward with this. I don't know what I will call this. I am slightly leaning towards calling this the shit, piss, fuck, ass podcast. I think it's eloquent. I think it's articulate. I think it really gets the point across at what this is and what I'm about. I would like you to expect a wet fart in your ear for the entirety of this. I don't know how long it'll be. I simply do not have the patience to go for an hour and a half like some other people do. And as much as I like to hear my own voice, I highly doubt that I will be talking that long. So, 1 second, let me take a sip of water. I actually, here on my podcast in my crappy basement, I don't even have cups. I am drinking from a mason jar. Not to complain about my mother yet again, but she has decided to throw out every single cup in the house and slowly replace them with tomato sauce jars. Some people might call that bizarre, but I think she just calls it folksy. I don't really know. Um, anyways, um, yeah, I'm not someone who's actually a fan of listening to podcasts. They're far too long for me. I have the attention span of a retarded squirrel, and I'm not really expecting this to get any sort of following because none of my content does. All of my stuff basically pushes about 50 views, and in all honesty, I actually enjoy my internet obscurity. I do not wish to have everything that I've said or done online parsed by imbeciles who can barely tie their own shoes and will try and pull out points from it about how whatever I am that I'm you know some secret child molester or that I'm a racist or whatever. I feel like anything can be taken out of context, and the more fame and publicity you have with anything, the more than that will occur. So I actually enjoy the fact that the only people that really watch my stuff or partake in any of my content are close friends that I share it with. Um, so yeah, honestly, my biggest problem with the online sphere, the net, the web, the internet is that everybody wants to be some sort of influencer or have some sort of publicity or whatever. And it really is nauseatingly, disgusting and it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. And, like they do it with the dumbest shit as if I care about it. Like people post uh, every single meal that they eat. I've never understood that. I don't give a shit if you ate at Applebee's or at Chipotle or whatever. I simply don't care. It doesn't matter to me in the slightest. I would honestly prefer if you're posting pictures of you eating dog shit. because at that point it would be unique and entertaining. And another thing I don't get is people make Instagram accounts or social media accounts from the perspective of their pets. Like, I don't care what the fuck your dog does during the day. I don't care what your cat does because it does the same thing every day. It sits around and waits for you to come home, or it just waits for its next meal. Dogs live from bowel movement to bowel movement, much like I have been for the entirety of this quarantine. But I don't care. It's uninteresting. I actually had the idea though. I think you could combine those two concepts of posting every single meal that you eat and posting from the perspective of whatever pet you have. You post from the perspective of your pet, but every meal that pet eats. If I did that for my cat, it'd be the same meal 2 times a day, every day, just a bowl of brown kibble. Um, yeah, that'd be it. He loves it. I don't know why. It's disgusting. I've tried it myself actually. I've eaten cat food. Most actually all pet food is FDA approved. It's fit for human consumption. During times of hardship, uh, you know, pet food sales go up, and it is not that people are buying more pets when there's a recession or something happening. It's I think you can figure it out. They're eating cans of dog food. And I'll say this, dry food, dry kibble, it's not that bad to eat. It's not that bad to eat. My cat food, I've had little bits of it. It's just dry kernels. It's mostly tasteless and bland with like a mild fishy aftertaste. Meanwhile, wet food, oh no, that's absolutely disgusting. I cannot stomach that. It really is terrible to try and consume. I don't, I'm not going to attempt to do that again. Unless someone asks me to. If someone dares me to, and I have a crowd, fuck it. I'll eat wet cat food. I don't care. It's fit for human consumption. I'm someone who will eat anything. I've never understood picky eaters. Um, you know, that's never really made a whole lot of sense to me. Especially people who are like, they don't like vegetables. I've met a few people who don't like vegetables, just all vegetables, which I simply don't understand because within just the category of vegetables, there's like a massive variety of different tastes and textures and whatever else, and an even larger number of ways to try and prepare that. But yeah, some people get something weird in their head where they don't like vegetables like at all, and there's been some grown adults that I've encountered that I like that. And I don't really understand that. To each his own, I guess. But I just think it's some sort of psychological hang up that they're stuck on. Because really, vegetables aren't bad. Humans are made to consume vegetables as well as meat and fruit and whatever else. Um, so I don't know. I've never really gotten that. But if you want to live that way, go ahead. It's none of my business. Just something odd. Taking another sip. I didn't plan any of this out, if you can tell or not. This is kind of just a vitriolic vomit stream of consciousness that is coming out of me. I think that I can be good at rambling sometimes. We'll see how this turns out. I don't think it'll turn out very well. Um, I'm not going to talk about, really anything within current events or the news because, my take on that is essentially, even though I follow politics, like, almost religiously, and I follow the news almost religiously, I think my take on that is essentially worthless because what the fuck do you want my take for? For anything? Who am I? I'm just some worthless schlub who's sitting in his basement recording on the Oculus Rift for this shitty fucking podcast. Sipping out of my mason jar. But I have to say though, the adjustments that I have made to my life for COVID are it's kind of a weird transition for everything. I'll say this. I don't understand why all these fucking people suddenly become fitness gurus as soon as they're stuck inside their house. Like I try and go run at the track and it's full of people. I try to go to the park and go for a jog. It's full of people. And it's like the same sort of mentality that people have. Like in January, right after New Year's, when the gyms are always full for like that 1 month and a half. And then they're dead afterwards because every fat schlub decides that their New Year's resolution is to become healthy, but then their motivation or resolve dries out almost immediately, and it just makes me think like I'm someone who tries to maintain a certain level of activity. And I try to be, I try to run almost every day, and lift and whatever else. And you go to the track, and you go to these places like where I'd like to go run, and these people are just a fucking waste of space. I'm sorry, but you're a fat schlub, so you should just admit that you're a fat schlub. Like, we both know that within 4 months you were not going to be exercising again. All you are doing now is wasting space for the people who want to continually exercise, like, every day of the year or whatever. So what are you really doing? What are you really doing? Just admit it to yourself that you're not going to come back here in a few months. You're not. You're simply not. Just like you're the same sort of crowd that doesn't come back after like 2 months from January. When the gyms are all crowded. Just accept it to yourself. Don't live in denial. If you want to be a fat bum, be a fat bum. Don't get in my way. I'll go to the track and I'm trying to do a workout, and there'll be these swathes of people in big fucking groups. Just walking slowly. And you look at them like, I can tell none of you exercise. You're all like 50 years old and morbidly obese. You can barely walk. And I applaud you for trying. I applaud you for the effort. But we both know. We both know. And if you can't admit it to yourself, then you're in denial. We both know that that effort will not be sustained. That won't last. That won't last. People like that, it never does last. Because again, in January, every year, the gyms are always packed, full of people. You can't access a machine to lift. You can't access a machine to use the treadmill. You can't use the free weights. Everyone's using them. And then, 2 months in, by March, or even mid-February, it's dead. Everyone changed their minds. So, I'm done working out. I got my working out done for the year for that month and a half, those 4 weeks. Why? What was the point of that? Did you really make some life-changing discovery by becoming a fitness guru for an extraordinarily short period of time? I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did. Maybe you lost a little weight, but that's good. But by the time the next year rolls around, you probably gained it back, and that's why you're going to the gym for that month again. So I don't really understand that. I guess it is what it is. But I don't know. Maybe I sound selfish. I probably am. I know it's selfish and assholey, but I am an asshole. So fuck it. Um, you're you're getting in my way. I'd like to exercise and not have people everywhere, and it's people who I know won't be exercising again. In a few months. So it's like, why are you here in the first place? It's not like I said. It's not going to be sustained effort. So I do not understand that. Take another sip from the mason jar. This basement that I am in, even though I'm in a basement, it's about 5 to 10 degrees colder than the rest of the house. It is exceedingly hot. I'm sweating profusely right now. I work as a lifeguard during the day, and I just sit in a chair or walk around and watch people swim and have fun while I just kind of drink water and be miserable. But I think it is hotter in my basement right now than it was during the entirety of the day that I was lifeguarding when I think it was like 91 out. So yeah, it sucks. I sleep down here too, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I might just put a fan on, like lay it on right next to my, in between my legs or something, just kind of cool that area off and try and crash out. But I don't know if that'll work. We'll see. I think my biggest problem with heat isn't just heat itself. It's humidity. I've never liked humidity. I've never liked really doing anything when it's humid out. When you're exercising when it's humid out, it's like breathing in pea soup. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's about as refreshing as eating a bowl of chili on a hot day. I fucking hate it. I don't want to do that. But dry heat is something that I don't know. I think it's definitely more tolerable than outright humidity and moisture when the air is thick and you can't breathe, and walking through it is like walking through hot clam chowder. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing I can do about it, I guess. Just kind of live with it, just like everything else. Just like COVID. I don't know why my mouth is so dry. I've been coughing all day. I've been hacking up phlegm. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. I don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that. Maybe I'm sick. I don't know. Maybe my voice sounds like I'm sick on here. I'm a kind of a nasally, I have a nasally voice anyways. Like Kermit the Frog or Everybody Loves Raymond or something. But if that's pronounced in some way, I'm assuming it's because I'm sick. I can't really notice, in all honesty. right now. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, I've just been kind of thinking though lately. Like I've been imagining what my perfect future would be, and let me describe my perfect future to you. All right. I pull up in the driveway. There's a white picket fence. An average suburban home. There's two kids playing along. Their tired mother following after them. I fuck the mother, then I leave, and I go back to my real family, which is just a dumpster full of possums. And that's my dream life. I don't even know who that woman was. Some asshole cheated on her husband. Uh, but my real family will be a dumpster of possums. I think I'll fit in there. I think I can really pick up on the social cues of dumpster possums. I think we have similar temperaments, similar interests, or similar interests. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, where am I at? I'm 16 minutes into this. Wow, I managed to ramble for 16 minutes without a guest. I don't think this podcast will ever have a guest. It'll just have me talking in your ear, like NPR. Um, I've always thought that like NPR, like oh, it's a little too intimate. With how they're speaking to me, it's like it's right in your ear like this, really soft and moist. And I don't really, I don't know. I think that they have some good news sometimes. I'll listen to them for some stuff, but and sometimes they choose some really weird segments, like you know, some guy who I don't know, like fucking raises centipedes or something and wants to talk about his deep personal insight about that. Like, I don't know where the fuck they choose some of these people for NPR. The other radio station I listen to is a WHAV. It's the local radio station for the town I live in. And I enjoy them because I get. Let me just adjust the mic. I enjoy them because I get my local news there. I get to learn the budgetary meetings for the school committee and the city council. I think local politics really is, tremendously important. It's far more important. I've never really understood why there's like a really big focus on, you know, national politics when really everything that affects your life the most, police, fire department, roads, the schools, that's all local stuff. It's all your local reps. Uh, so I said I wouldn't get into politics. I really didn't. I'm not really expressing an opinion on just local politics affect your life more. That's kind of I think objective. Um, but yeah, I've never really understood why there's such a big focus on uh, national politics, especially comparatively speaking to local politics, were like virtually ignored. That's why I think you get a lot of like kooks in local politics. You get some really weird kooky people that you know, it's just because no one really pays attention to it. So they have like a family of inbred hillbillies that votes them in. That doesn't really happen in Haverhill, but it'll happen to some towns. We've had some odd representatives though for Haverhill on like the school committee and stuff. That whatever. My opinion on them doesn't really matter, but yeah, it's just it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think the drama in local politics is something that's one of the reasons why I follow it. It's like and it makes it more interesting too because like they really are like your next door neighbor and all that. Like they live in the same town as you. It's not kind of abstracted by like high level stuff. It's someone who lives in your town, lives a couple blocks from you, and there's drama happening on the school committee or the city council, and it's just I don't know. I think it's interesting and kind of funny that way. It's like gossip fused with like politics, which I'm a fan of both. Um, yeah, I don't know. Where am I at now? 20 minutes in, or almost. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. We'll see if I can get a guest on. I might invite my cat. He has a lot to say. He has a lot to say. Honestly, I think he's probably one of the most vocal cats I've ever owned. He just makes weird noises and like sprints across the room. Uh, or just that's about it. That's all he does. He just makes weird noises. He doesn't even meow. He does these twilling sounds. They're like and I don't know. I don't know. He's definitely a very vocal animal. I think he thinks that he's talking to you. I think that he thinks that like when humans talk to each other, they're just like making weird noises. So he tries to imitate that because you say, hello, Jinxie. He'll go and like some weird fucking little noise across the other side of the room and look at you. I don't know. I don't know. Very I don't know. I think animals are interesting. I have a snake as well, and I think snakes are very incredible animals. I think they're very interesting. They're remarkably efficient with everything that they do. Like I have a ball python. I feed him live rats, and I just toss him into the cage, and he'll reduce a fairly good sized rat into something really small, like comparatively really small, and digest the whole thing. Bones, innards, all that, just swallows it whole. Um, and they don't even urinate; they release uric acid pellets almost. So it's just like this like white capsule type thing, and it's just full of like this yellow gel, and it's just uric acid and their waste. It conserves water. It's really gross. Like if you ever get a snake, don't be careful about the capsules. Like if you're cleaning up the tank, don't like pierce the capsule because you'll just get this acrid urine smell that comes out of it, and it is very strong and musty. I've never really understood why people will fear snakes because I've like I said, I feed my snake rats, and I've been bitten by the rats that I've fed my snake fairly often. Too many times to count. But you know, I have had my snake about 10 years now. They live to be like 25 ball pythons in captivity, so I'll have them for like a decade and a half longer. But I've been bitten by him twice in that time, and both of it was essentially my mistake. They were feeding bites. They weren't defensive. Um, I had a rat in my hand, and my hand blocked the rat slightly. So when he went to go strike the rat, he got my hand. That's essentially how two of those, both of those two times happened. Um, Snakes or ball pythons are really like any other animal. If you squeezed on them really hard, he might do a defensive bite. Actually, ball pythons don't really do defensive bites. Their defensive mechanism is to curl up into a ball. But if you get like a rat snake or a corn snake and you squeeze onto it or something, yeah, it'll probably bite you in the same way that if you pull on a cat's tail or step on a dog, it might nip you. They're not going to be happy about it. If you if you if you punched a human in the face, they're not going to be happy that you did that. So it's really it's understandable. In New England, there's only really one poisonous snake around here in New England. They're copperheads. They're relatively easy to identify. There's other snakes around here, but they're not venomous in any way. They have garter snakes and rat snakes and the little tiny shit. I'm spacing on the name, but anyways, yeah. People around here, I've never really just understood why people be afraid of wild snakes around here. Like garter snakes, the worst that they do is release this nasty, oniony smelling musk. I used to catch them when I was little. You pick them up and it's like this disgusting onion, like feces smelling paste that comes out of them. Snakes are interesting. They're almost like birds, like where they have a cloaca, where they all shit, piss, and fuck out of the same hole. Again, remarkably efficient. If humans had that, fuck it. Honestly, humans aren't designed very well. I'll be honest with you. Like we have one mouth or one tube that we both breathe and drink and eat out of. So you have the capacity to choke relatively easily. You have what we have. We have different holes for different purposes. We don't have the almighty cloaca. If I was able to design humans, I would have probably two different orifices for breathing and then consuming things like water and food, and then I would definitely just have probably one hole for everything, shit, piss, and fucking out of the almighty cloaca. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of other things too that are kind of weird about humans. We have a lot of vestigial organs that we don't really have any evolutionary need for anymore. They're just kind of like leftover shit that just kind of didn't disappear. Like our tailbones, we don't need those. I don't even think we need our tonsils or our appendixes really. I think appendixes were used to process foods that we just simply no longer eat. So yeah, no, there's a number of vestigial. If you look at other animals, they have vestigial organs as well. Whales have remnants of hip bones for like feet and attachments. They have attachment for feet that are left over. That's why that whole argument of intelligent design is kind of retarded because most things are not designed very intelligently at all. I mean, the one tool that evolution has to move forward is the mistake. Like you fuck up hard enough, and you're no longer evolutionary fit or capable of reproducing. So things just are in constant competition with each other, and you get left with weird little tidbits and vestigial organs and all that. But I find evolution to be kind of remarkable in that some things evolve independently of each other multiple times. So things like eyes or things that are similar to that have evolved independently from each other. Not just all sharing the same direct common ancestor. Well, they all, if you go farther back enough, but eyes evolving independently on different genetic trees, which I think is interesting. If you look at flatworms, they have like almost an example of an early eye that one of our earlier ancestors would have had, which is just like a flat layer of photosensitive cells. And then if you go look at other animals like nautiluses too, you can see that it curves in a little bit. They just don't have that the cornea, the lens, or whatever it is to focus light. They just have like a pinhole. Here's my cat coming to harass me. I don't know if he wants food or to play or he just wants me to pet him while he shits. I'm not sure. Well, I've done this for 26 minutes. It is 1 in the morning. I am exceedingly tired. I could probably talk longer if I really wanted to, but fuck it. I'll talk another 5 minutes. I don't really care. I'm gonna go to bed in a bit though. Hopefully this was at least moderately interesting. Just my stream of thought that is coming out of my head. I assure you that I am, so some people have asked me like, if fucking I'm on something or whatever when I meet them. No, I'm sober. Most of I'm always sober when I'm talking to you. It's just I'm odd. That's what I think that's all it is. I know I'm kind of an odd dude, but I'm fine with that. I'd rather be just myself, I suppose. But yeah, I was reading actually before I go. Let me just say, fucking Descartes is a moron, dude. I think, therefore, I am is some of the most retarded shit that I've ever like. There's no inflection point between the mind and the body. There is no like point where you can say, yeah, we're greater than the sum of all of our parts. Like our body and our minds are extrinsically or intrinsically, sorry, linked. You cannot separate them. Uh, you know, we aren't just a consciousness sitting inside of a body. Our mind and our consciousness, our consciousness and our body are linked together. I don't know. Again, you probably don't want to hear my opinions on that. Again, this is just a stream of thought. I'm just saying whatever. I have no filter anyways, so I'll just kind of like impose that on this shitty fucking podcast that is probably barely inaudible from my crappy microphone. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not even gonna test it. Fuck it. I'm just gonna post this shit online. I don't really care. Fuck it. It honestly, again, I enjoy my obscurity online. I enjoy that. I like that I'm not being scrutinized by fucking random morons who want to expose me or some shit. I don't care. I don't like if you're watching this and this has over 3 views, get off. Stop watching it. Delete your view. I don't want this having over 4 views. I don't want you. You're not part of my audience. You smell. You're some sort of mongoloid cretin. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. Nah, but in all seriousness, like I just I'm honestly kind of someone who's afraid of anything that I say being taken out of context. Because really anything can. And I don't know. I think if that happens, then I don't know. If they come up with some people, if I'm ever at some point in my life where there's some wonky accusation about me. Like, I don't know, I can't even think of one. And it's just like derived from, me being facetious, or a joke made in bad taste, or I don't even know, really anything that's taken out of context, and not looking at fully with really any level of nuance at all. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would, I because at some point it becomes hard to defend yourself if you're like that. You become deplatformed in a way because it's like, oh, that's the guy who fucking whatever, goes outside and beats up stray dogs. Like, no, um, I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely, I think being online is I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. I think it's miraculous in a lot of ways, the interconnectivity that you have, but I think also, like, you get weird groups of people who just, I don't know, I don't know what their motives are. I don't know what they want, but you know sometimes people will just, I think, have this weird mob mentality where they get together and all decide to hate on one dude for nothing. Like, I remember, let me think. There was this guy Pro Jared. Everyone's accusing him of this wild shit, like, soliciting minors for sex and stuff like that, and it all ended up being proven untrue, by him. Uh, I'm not even someone who really enjoys his content, but I really, I can empathize with someone who um, was is someone in that situation. That sucks. Or they had that guy, that makeup artist, the really annoying one, James Charles. Yeah, I don't like his content at all. I don't wear makeup or anything, so I have no need to watch his content. But it was like the same thing. He had, like, people that were accusing him of soliciting sex from minors, and I'm pretty sure that was also proven to be false. Um, but I don't know. People hop on this weird bandwagon where they all decide to attack this person, and or whoever and whatever. And I just really think, like, most things, I try and wait for evidence to come out one way or the other, not just hearsay. I'm not really a big fan of just basing something upon hearsay rather than something objective and provable and empirical. Um, I don't know. I don't know. On another topic, I'll say this: I've never understood why vegans will make the argument, you know, if you would eat a, you wouldn't eat a dog, but you'd eat a pig. Fuck you! I eat a dog. I eat a dog, no question. I eat a cat too. I wouldn't eat my cat, or you wouldn't eat someone's pet. But if you had, like, dogs or cats that were raised as livestock, yeah, I eat it. Fuck it. It's livestock. It's an animal to eat. That's what it was raised as. That's what I'm gonna consume. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Like, it's really entirely a cultural thing. You look at things like Yao Lin Festival, which a lot of people in the West like to cry and hem and haw about. But, like, come on, man, let people eat their dogs. I don't care. And if you go to India, people, like, revere cows, and everyone's like, they think the cow is sacred, and you're not supposed to eat them there. But here, that's how it is for dogs and cats. When throughout all of human history, I'm sure there really are innumerable numbers of dogs and cats and horses and whatever else that have been eaten. I think all meat is on the table. You know, if they had dog or horse at a restaurant, I'm trying it, dude. I'm curious what it would taste like. Human is the one meat that I wouldn't, just consume out of curiosity or dining pleasure. But I will say this: if I was starving and have some sort of desperate situation, then yeah, I'd resort to cannibalism. And most people would. I can guarantee you that everyone would. And everyone who says, "Oh, I would never do that. I would never eat a person." Well, you don't know what fucking real starvation is like, do you? If I was a part of the Donner Party or something like that, those fuckheads, the frontiersmen who decided to beat the winter and go over the Rocky Mountains like a bunch of morons, and surprise, surprise, they got stuck in the mountains during the winter because you don't try to beat the winter. Uh, yeah, they ended up eating corpses of their dead, and I can understand that. If you're starving and you're in a survival situation, you're gonna be eating whatever you can. And I know I would. I know everyone would. Everyone would in that situation if they were absolutely starving and had nothing to eat, and they were dying of, and anyone who won't admit that, they're in denial. You are in denial. I can guarantee you that if you were starved over a period of months or whatever, and you were offered a piece of meat, it wouldn't really matter to you what animal it came from, even if it was God forbid a human or whatever. That being said, I would never actively kill a person for their meat. That's horrible. That's an entirely different thing. But if I was starving and there was like a corpse, fuck it, I'd eat it. I'd do what I had to survive. I wouldn't die over that. It'd be horrible, and I definitely wouldn't feel good about that. It'd probably haunt me for years. But I know that I would do that, and I could admit it. And I know that really everyone on Earth would do the same. If you have survival instincts that are kicking in, uh, then really everyone would do what they had to or what they felt they needed to do to survive. And I don't get why people won't admit that to themselves. I don't know. I think it's some sort of like pretend moral purity that they think they have. But it's like if you're in any sort of desperate situation, you'll do desperate things. You will. Like that's just like it's an extenuation of fight or flight or whatever. But yeah, no, yeah. If I was starving, I'd eat human meat. Man, 36 minutes of rambling. That's incredible. That's incredible. I've surpassed my expectations, my capability to ramble. It is now 1:12 in the morning, and I am getting increasingly more tired. I'm expecting the audio for this to be absolutely terrible, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I think it's been my expression of the night. We'll see, but I don't know, folks. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see with that too. Oh, I don't know. Another sip out of the old mason jar. Yeah, I don't know. What else is there to talk about? What's been on my mind lately? I don't know. I'll say this. I'll go to small talk. I'll go to small talk. The weather, I haven't been a fan of it. I really like early spring weather where it's like 60s and 70s, and not very humid. But it's kind of turned at that point where it's like, yeah, this is summer, and I'm someone who I enjoy going to, you know, swimming in ponds or lakes or pools, but I despise the beach. I don't know why anyone would fucking like the beach. Everything about I'm sorry, but I'm getting angry about this. Now just thinking about the beach, I hate everything about the beach. Everything about the beach is absolutely repugnant. I don't understand how anyone out there would enjoy the beach in any fucking capacity. Because you go there, and every single crevice on your body is full of fucking sand. I walk out of the beach and I'm like, red raw from every single part of my body being abraded by sand. It's abrasive. Every single part of my body, all the skin on my body has been sanded down, and I'm picking sand out of my ass cracks for like a week. And I'll shower, I'll fucking scrub everything, but there's still sand everywhere, all over me. I don't understand. And the beaches in New England are awful. They're awful because you can't even fucking enjoy the water to swim in. They're freezing cold. You go in, everything's freezing, and then the water, the waves are full of sand, so you're just being, you're being sandblasted. It's like a water jet. They for water jets, they cut metal and stuff in it, and they put garnet, grains of sand in there. It's like that. It's like a low scale version of that. It's horrible. Everything about it is abrasive and cold and unenjoyable. I don't like it. And then you go on the beach, it's full of crowds of people that are just, sweaty and gross and annoying, and ugh, I don't like it at all. And I feel like a lot of beaches around here, they're really honky tonk too. Like it's just like a slum on a beach, and there's just like crappy little shops around it. Like in Hampton, they have like a strip club there, or maybe it's Salisbury. I don't know. It's all just honky tonk garbage with like shitty arcades and Joe's Playland and beach pizza. I did not like beach pizza. I don't. It's gross. I'm sorry, but it's just unappealing to me. Most beach food is not very good, and it's incredibly overpriced too. And I've never understood why like some beach places will be like the hopping place at the beach when it's like fucking dog shit. At one of the beaches around here, they have McDonald's that just sells like soft serve ice cream. They're always full. They're the most full McDonald's I've ever fucking been to in my life. You know, they're packed with people. It's just a goddamn McDonald's. That's all it is. Just a crappy McDonald's, but it's full of people because it's on the beach and it's one of the few shitty options available. But everyone fucking goes to this crappy little McDonald's, you know, in this crappy little part of town. And it's gross. It's gross. I love lakes. I really do. I like lakes and ponds because they're warmer. I'm getting hoarse. I'm gonna drink another sip. They're warmer. You know, there's more available to you. You know, you can go kayaking and tubing and boating and not just swimming. And you know, a lot of around a lot of lakes too. You'll be able to walk around paths and enjoy scenery and all that. You know, I just think that it's much more enjoyable than standing in the sweltering sun on a sandy beach with cold water that you can barely swim in. Nothing about that. Nothing about that is something that is pleasing or pleasurable to me at all. And I don't understand how it would be to anyone. I really don't. I don't at all. What the fuck do you like about that? Really? What the fuck do you like? It's just, you know, again, there's nothing, there's nowhere to go that there's anywhere that's comfortable. You're either in the freezing cold water where it sucks, or you're on the scalding hot sand where it's just getting in everything on your body, and that sucks too. Or you're just walking around on the crappy little strip enjoying, you know, the shitty salt taffy shops, the saltwater taffy shops, and it's all these run down, decrepit looking buildings. You know, why? Why would you? Who the fuck likes that? I don't know why you would, but so many people do in the summer. You know, there's some people in my family like that. I don't fucking get it. It's gross. The beaches are awful. They're awful. You know, I used to go to beaches when I was little, and I didn't really like them that much then. But now that I don't need to go to the beach because no one's forced me to, I'm not gonna fucking go to the beach. Never, never. You know, maybe a passing glance at it to just, you know, remind myself of how terrible it is. But that's it. Actually, you know, let me rephrase some of that. The one thing that I like about some beaches, you know, is if you go to like some of the nature preserves, they'll have like the tide pools where you can catch crabs, and clams, and they'll sometimes have like small lobsters and stuff. That's kind of fun because at that point you're not in the water, you're not in the sand, you're just catching crabs, you know. And I do, you know, like I like catching snakes and frogs and turtles and crabs and whatever. I think that's fun. That's, you know, but most standard typical beaches that people go to, they're not the smelly tide pools that I enjoy. You know, like if I go to any sort of ocean environment, it's just, you know, those really smelly, you know, everything's just covered in like a layer of algae and goop, you know, and it really is full of life. It's kind of remarkable. Aquatic, it's, I know this is counterintuitive, but aquatic environments, they have a much larger biomass uh, up north in temperate zones, um, because it's full of things like algae and seaweed and a lot of you know, really just a lot of protist life. There's a reason why when you go to tropical places, the water is always like crystal clear. It's because it doesn't have all that you know, microbial petri dish kind of growing in the water, and you know, I don't know, kind of counterintuitive, I guess. Obviously for you know, tropical zones is it's you know, for for terrestrial environments on land. You know, there's a higher biomass there. You know, with rainforests and all of that. But um, if you go like the most the aquatic environments, the most biomass, like, you know, around you know, like Maine and New England and cold areas around the coast, because it's just full of slime and sludge and fish and whatever. And if you, it's just, I don't know. I think that kind of ecosystem is very interesting, but yeah, I don't like the beach. I don't like the typical beaches that people go to. If I go to the beach, it's to catch crabs in a tidal pool, or yeah. Uh, but I, I I like I know most people don't like swamps, but I actually really like swamps. I think they're kind of fascinating. Salt marshes too are kind of cool too. There's not as much kind of going on in salt marshes. It's just, you know, tall reeds and you know, you have the yeah, it's just tall reeds and mud. Um, but you know, I actually do like swamps because I don't know, it's a very interesting environment. The low wetlands, and like I said, I like catching frogs. I've gotten very good at that over the years. I used to catch them all the time when I was little. I don't really do that much anymore. When I was little, I was like an expert at catching frogs. Um, wow, I'm 44 minutes into this, and I'm really tired. I think I'm gonna go another 15 minutes for a solid hour. I've been saying I'm gonna stop for a while now, but now that I'm rambling, I'm addicted. I don't know how good this is, and I don't know how enjoyable it is for the folks listening. I doubt you're listening at this point. I know I certainly wouldn't because, well, for one, I don't like podcasts, and two, the sound of my voice is kind of nasally and obnoxious, and kind of rambling coherently. But if you are enjoying this so far, uh, you know, I don't know what to say. Something must be wrong with you, I guess. uh, anyways, anyways. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Swamps. Yeah, interesting places. I like the woods a lot. I think that those are definitely interesting places to be in. Um, I don't know. I've never really understood why some people like really opposed to dirt or mud or being in the woods or camping at all. And I really think there are a lot of uh, skills pertaining to that I think everyone should know. I think everyone should know how to make a fire. I think everyone should know how to make a basic shelter. I think everyone should know about the plants and animals that are in their area. Because I think that if something affects you in some capacity, you should at least know a little bit of something about it or be curious about it. I've never understood how people can just like turn on their lights in their house or go driving to work in their car every day and not try wonder at all how it works or try and attempt to learn how it works. And I'm not claiming to be an expert in anything. I'm far from that. But I do at least try to have some sort of cursory knowledge about things and trying to research stuff and just kind of learn about, because I think it really is remarkable. And I've never, I think all technology, I think if your life would be different without something, you should at least know how it works a little bit. You know, if your life would be altered completely, and I think that extends to a number of things, not just technology and science, but I think government as well. Uh, there was a study or a poll I saw a while ago is more Americans can name the Three Stooges than the three branches of government. I don't I don't understand that. I really don't. Like again, if something has an impact on your life, how could you not want to know a little bit about it? I don't know. I don't know. Like, and I think most things really are fascinating. Like the whole thing with I was reading about you know antigenetic shifts with viruses, and they can combine. So if you have two different strains, or two different like substrains of the same viral strain, they can combine within hosts and become like a combined strain. And I don't know, I thought that was fascinating. And I was just reading how quickly viruses mutate because they have very short, uh, you know, life cycles, and I don't know everything about it. I was reading something else too. The ventricular assistant devices, um, they really are remarkable. They're like they're like artificial pumps that you put next to your heart, and they replace like a lot of the functions of a heart is. They like plug into your aorta and they can circulate blood as like a machine, and it's incredible. I know Dick Cheney had one for a while. He's had a lot of heart problems. I don't know why that is. That must be lifestyle and genetics, I think. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many cool things about the world around us. And like I said, I don't claim to be an expert about it, but I really do. I try to make a point to learn things and try and I just I'm curious about stuff, and I don't know. I find a lot of things to be very interesting about all around us. I don't know. I don't know. I guess if you're not into that, I don't understand it, but you live your life how you'd like. It's not up to me, but I don't know. Just yeah. Just took another sip of water from my mason jar. I am running very low on it, running on empty. Have you seen that? That's a good YouTuber actually. I don't know if he's good. He's definitely interesting. I like him. I think he's very endearing. Um, and personable. And he just he's one of the very wholesome YouTubers. Running on empty, the food reviewer, the guy who wears the suits He just kind of sits in a McDonald's parking lot and will review a hamburger while wearing this old suit with this slick back, classy looking hair. Um, I'll watch his content occasionally, but you know, to me, most of it is kind of the same, just because he's reviewing food. There's been some good moments, some good memes from him, like my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I forget what food that was from. I forget. It was like Chick-fil-A or something. I don't know, but maybe Popeyes. I don't know. I forget. But I don't know. Yeah, he's definitely he was stalked for a bit too. There was I was watching this. I didn't hear about it, but he was stalked for a period of time by like random people. He posted about it in a video, and he actually commented or wrote it in the description at first that he was being stalked by like guys in a van that were watching him, and people at first thought he was having some sort of like mental breakdown or mental illness. Um, but as you described it further, it was again just another case of people being stupid and misinterpreting things. It really was, he was being stalked for a bit. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something that I think like I wouldn't like about. Again, I enjoy being a relatively just an unknown person, just a regular Joe Schmo. I don't. I wouldn't want any sort of real publicity because beyond people parsing your words, like people just they'll follow everything that you do. You'll never have any real sense of privacy. Like that's why I would never really want. I don't understand why anyone would really want to be president. Because you can't even enjoy a private fart without people reporting it on the news, and that goes beyond politics. You can dislike or like the current president or previous presidents or whatever else, but I just think as a rule of thumb, they have very little privacy. I would not like that. Celebrities too, but I think the president even more, just because he's an international figure, just has very little privacy. I wouldn't like that. I value my privacy in a number of ways. I just I don't want people following everything that I do. I'm really only posting this for a few friends that I have that asked for it. So whatever. I hope you enjoyed it. I sincerely do. I recorded it really just for you guys. Specialty of McLaughlin. Um, yeah. That's. I guess I'm almost at the hour mark. I'll go another 8 minutes. Fuck it. I'll go the even hour. Like I was saying earlier, the even 60 minutes. Uh, which I guess is kind of typical of what most podcasts are, right? I don't know. I don't really watch podcasts, like I said. I'm not really a big fan of them. A lot of them are a little too slow for me. Um, I'll watch clips of or highlights of podcasts occasionally, like the best parts of it. Um, but you know, it's just a lot to sit through for the whole thing. And I understand people will just kind of like, they'll listen to a podcast with the cleaning and doing laundry or on a long car drive or whatever. But I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea, I suppose. I'll do other things when I'm doing that. Um, you know, but I found that most of the content that I enjoy online is just they're just shit posts. That's what I like. I like just like crap. Took another sip from the mason jar. I just I like the low effort shit posts. There's something endearing and charming about it that I really enjoy. Things that are just intentionally bad. And that's what I think I've kind of tried to replicate at some in some capacity on my channel. All of my crappy little animations for the past year, or my longer ones, the epic tales that are just like fucking dog shit. I put a surprising amount of time into them, but it's just because I enjoy making it. It's just a hobby of mine. I've never been someone who's like, oh, I want to get famous, blah blah blah. I've never understood that. You have people like fucking that are like high schoolers that are like convinced they're gonna be rappers when they get older. It's like, dude, how many fucking rappers do you have in this town? How many big rappers have you fucking ever heard coming out of Haverhill? None, none, never. How many big sports athletes? You have Carlos Pena from baseball, but that's like one. How many professional like footballers or whatever else? Any professional sports players? You have a lot of kids that are like thinking that they're gonna go fucking pro and they're in high school, and I think it's just their parents, their narcissistic parents, like feeding into them and trying to like live out their own weird fantasy through their fucking kid, and then the kid just buys into the bullshit because they're naive and retarded. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think fame is nothing that I would ever want. Never. You know. I don't I don't I don't know why anyone would ever really want that in the first place. Um, I guess it's just a different kind of cat. Um, if it honestly, if I was ever in the position, which would never happen. I could never see this possibly foresee this happening. If I'm ever in the position where like I get a tidbit of fame, honestly, I would probably try and actively avoid it. I'll be honest with you. I would, if something that I posted on YouTube or on Twitter gained a bunch of traction or whatever, I'd honestly, I'd probably like, I don't know, I'd probably not post anything for several months, maybe even delete whatever I posted, even if everyone liked it, because fuck it, man, I don't want everyone, going into my business. Fuck that. I don't want that at all. It's one of the reasons why I like Reddit, because it's very impersonal. It doesn't matter who you are. All that matters is the content that you're posting. And I know, actually, I bet all of this, a good chunk of this podcast is coming as the standard Redditard, sitting in my basement talking about how I enjoy having a certain level of anonymity. Um, but yeah, no, I guess I'm definitely not a 4chaner though. Um, I've kind of taken like kind of a cursory glide through their site, and it's definitely interesting. There's definitely an interesting community there. Um, I don't know. The layout of the site is kind of archaic for me. I'll be able to enjoy some stuff without taking it too seriously. I'll go on what is it, slash poll, just because some of the stuff there is kind of wacky, and they'll have like people that are really really far to the right posting, and I've I think it's just as kooky as some of the people that are really 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 far to the left or whatever. Just but whatever. I don't know. Definitely an interesting group of people. I think some of them are kind of funny too. In some of the posts, even though they'll be really offensive and gross and weird or whatever. I think they'll be funny sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. 3 minutes left, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Uh, what should I do for the rest of the time? Should I hum? Should I fart into the mic? I don't know if I can sustain a 2.5 minute long fart. I could try. But I definitely need a level of preparation for that beforehand that I simply am not equipped to deal with right now. I need, I don't know what I would need. I'll be honest with you. I'll do research on it. We'll find that out together. What do I need to sustain a 2 minute long fart? Um, what's the world record for longest fart? I'm wondering about that. Actually, fuck it. I haven't looked up anything online. I've just been sitting in my chair, sweating profusely, staring at the ceiling. I'm gonna look up world's longest fart record. Let me see. Guinness World Records. Where is it? Let's look. Ah, the dubious distinction goes to Bernard Clemens, who farted for 2 minutes and 42 seconds straight. So if I met 2 minutes and 30 seconds, well, that'd be a close competitor. That'd be a close. If I got to that, I'd be within the league to fart a little bit longer, to push out whatever I had left, to show a little bit extra stuff. I think the danger with a fart that long is by the end of it might not be a fart, dude. Honestly, I bet if you're farting for 2 minutes and 42 seconds straight, I doubt by the end of that he was just that was just air. I doubt he had clean undies afterwards. Uh, but congrats to him. That's a remarkable achievement. I really think it's a feat to human accomplishment and engineering. It reminds me of the guy who counted the longest. I forget what his name was, but he was in his apartment for like 35 days straight counting. He didn't shower or bathe in any way. He didn't cut his hair. He just would count. And if that isn't a mathematical genius, I don't know what is. Who else who else has the dedication to not, bathe or leave your home for an extended period of time? I'm gonna look this guy up too. Now I'm the tail end of this little podcast. I'm gonna look up longest number counted to. Let me find this guy. Jeremy Harper. That's who it is. The count took 89 days, of which he spent 16 hours each day counting. And he live streamed the entire process. It was actually for charity, but he didn't bathe. He obviously went to the bathroom. I don't know if he filmed himself while he was for those 16 hours counting. I might have to watch that live stream. I think I'll watch the whole thing. So he spent 16 hours each day for 89 days. Let's do the math. 89 times 16. Oh, shoot. So a 1,424 long live stream. I might have to get into that. I've been looking for a new series to watch. I've been looking for, I just finished, Black Mirror, and I think this is the next new thing. I might get into this. It's definitely an older series because he did this in 2007, but I think it'll be riveting. Watching a man count to 1 million for 1,424 hours. Let's see how many days that is divided by 24. So I'll be watching that for 59.3 days straight, which makes sense. Like he slept for the other hours of the day. So this is very close to the amount of time that he was awake that whole time. So I can binge that all the way through. Quarantine is long. Corona's long. I think I got almost 60 days to binge watch a man counting. Actually, if he filmed himself sleeping, that'd be good too, because I've had the full 89-day experience. To be able to watch him sleeping, maybe sleep while he slept, and then wake up and count with him while he counted. I think that'd be definitely entertaining. It'd be educational. It'd be a way to try and to satiate the boredom that I've been feeling profoundly throughout this entire experience. And where am I at? 1 hour and 2 minutes. All right. Well, I am going to bid all of you farewell. The two of you that are watching, maybe even the none of you that are watching. I bet it's none of you by now. If you stuck around this long, I'm not gonna say thank you because you're a fucking idiot for listening to this for an hour. You wasted your fucking time. You're a moron. I don't know. I'm not gonna thank you for wasting your time. Yeah, no. If you watch it this long, I would reevaluate your priorities and your life goals. Even more than I should after creating this. So yeah, farewell, wherever you are. I am going to be going to bed. It's 1:38 in the morning. I'm going to be taking about 20 melatonins and knocking out. Goodbye, peace, adieu, farewell, tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, and fuck it.